Lisa, wake up. Good
Wake up.
morning.
Sorry.
It's okay. Welcome to what's our show called? Live from Western New York Real Estate.
The Western New York Real Estate Show.
Western New York Real
Chuck and
Estate Show.
Lisa.
Welcome. I'm Chuck Flynn, manager of Howard Hanna Agent, joined by Lisa Avery, manager in where? Hamburg,
New York.
Love it. I like it. Buffalo, the South towns. Love it.
Yes. Hey, today's a big day. Just a little side note with our career showcases happening all over Hanna Land. So if you're watching because you're considering getting into a career in real estate, there are, just go to Hanna Careers, howardhanna.com. You're going to find our social media channels, different offices that you can pop in and learn more about a career in real estate today. So
absolutely. Yeah. Do the pop in or you know what? Or hey, if you're thinking of an office, like call the office and say, hey, I'm coming at 5 o'clock, just want to confirm. It's always good to confirm. Right. So,
we're doing a South Towns one in West Seneca today from 12 to 1. So there's different times, different locations.
All right. You can come to Arundecoit and just, we're north part of Rochester between the city and the lake and surrounded by water on three sides. That's why it's called Arundecoit. And anyway, between 5 and 6 tonight, And then guess what? After that, going to Fringe Fest, going to see Cirque de Variety at Fringe Fest. Have you ever heard of Fringe Fest?
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Fringe Fest is a local gem. It's an event. It lasts for 2 weeks and it's in Rochester and it celebrates the art world and the fringe of the art world. It's really, shows that are out there stuff. It's not your regular average thing. So I'm excited. We're going to see Cirque de Variety. It's called Cirque de Variety. And it's kind of like a Cirque du Soleil type show with, like performers and such. It happens in the Spiegel tent at Fringe Fest, which is put on by the organization called Spiegel World. And that's the show that I saw last year when I was at Triple Play in Atlantic City. And because they have a thing with Caesar's Palace, they have a gig there. And then they have another gig out in Las Vegas at Caesar's, like a regular resident show, and it's like a Cirque du Soleil, but it's not quite as big a production. It's, it's less expensive and it's just really cool, like street type performers. And I love it. I can't wait. So
that sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds great.
It's going to be great.
Great.
So how do we what's the best way to get started in today's show? Because frankly, I think we're trying to set a record for least amount of show prep.
We're coming in because we're focusing on a Hanna how-to, right? And this is a Hanna how-to where in transparency, right? Like Chuck said, hey, why don't we talk about this that we can do on our dashboard? And I was like, hey, that sounds great because I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't even know it was on there. I pride myself on I think I'm tech savvy. I think I know what's on the dashboard. But what you just told me blows my mind. And it embarrasses me, frankly, that I didn't know it was on there. I'm ashamed. But I'm only going to be ashamed for like 45 minutes because I'm like, I want to get off the show so that I can go do what you told me 2 minutes of. So tell me about the new assistant you just hired.
Okay. Well, yeah, she got hired for me, which was even better. Like I didn't have to seek out the assistant and go figure out the best one. My broker, Howard Hanna, hired this assistant for me.
Wow. Right? What are your assistant's hours?
Well, she starts at 12. I've got one assistant and it's a she, and she has an Irish accent. You probably don't know this. But she starts at 12:01, right after midnight. And then she stops at 12, like 24 hours later. And then 1 second later, she starts again. I give her 1 second off a day. 1 second. I don't make her do anything. She gets a 1 second break. But other than that, she is working all the time.
And tell us, all right, all kidding aside, tell us in reality what exactly we're talking about. But I do think that's a good way to think about it. This is an assistant, a virtual assistant, an AI assistant. Right. I mean, it is someone assisting you. We're never going to use the R word, right? Not being realtor, we use that all the time. Replace. How many times have realtors been afraid of being replaced? replaced by the internet, replaced by technology, and we're still standing. We're still here. We're still doing a great job. So this assistant is assisting you, not replacing you.
Yeah. So a few months ago, Howard Hanna made a move as a brokerage, right, to transition from what's called the Microsoft Exchange-based email platform, and companies all over the world have Exchange platforms that manage their email. My old company, we had our own Exchange server, and it was the way to stay secure. It was a value from Microsoft. Yay. But they figured out, I think Microsoft figured out and Hannah figured out, hey, we don't need to manage this Exchange. You have this other product called Office 365 that we should just be part of that. We should go into that ecosystem and we can get all these other benefits, and Microsoft, it's probably easier for Microsoft to manage. So now we don't do the old Exchange platform that was really email only. Now we have Office 365 for agents. Every agent has that Office account. You get a terabyte of storage. I mean, that's a lot of storage, unless you're like me and Lisa doing a video once a week, and even over time, eventually we would fill that up with a terabyte, but it would take, that's an incredible amount of storage. Okay. But beyond that, we have the full Microsoft platform, all the different things. So I was telling you earlier about how I've been using Microsoft Lens like crazy. I used to have a different tool that I used for scanning my documents so that I could scan them, send them to myself, and then give the wet signed copies right to my client right there in that moment. So I didn't have to make copies or try to do carbon impressions or anything like that. Because we're really, by law, we're supposed to multiple copies, right? Yeah. I have to bring 2 copies of a contract here, signed twice. So you get a copy, because really by law, they're supposed to get a signed copy the moment they sign it.
Right.
So this enabled me, my old platform my old app that I use enabled me to do that. But now I had to just, it didn't, Microsoft has an answer for all that within the platform. And so I talked to IT and they said, hey, Chuck, why don't you try Microsoft Lens? And I said, all right, well, I don't care what the thing is called. If it does the job, I'll use it. So I started using Microsoft Lens, and it's amazing. I just used it 2 days ago, getting signatures, took care of it, gave the wet copies to the client, moved on with my life. Okay. But back to your question, what is my virtual assistant? And I think it's got the perfect name. It's called Microsoft Copilot, right? I'm flying the plane. I'm ready to land the plane. We use that analogy a lot in real estate. Go land the plane. Come on. And this is my Copilot. In order to have a real successful landing and, a great passenger experience on my real estate journey as I take my clients from here to there, I've got this amazing Copilot who we already cleared up, works all the time, and is just asking for things to do. So earlier today, I used to have a subscription, a ChatGPT subscription. Guess what? Earlier I canceled it. I said, no. Okay. There's kind of a fight going on in the AI world of provide the best this or the best that or whatever. Listen, this is good enough. My Microsoft Copilot is awesome. And it's giving me all the assistance I need. And it's doing it all within a safe and secure platform, our office, our Howard Hanna office, account. And it's bananas. So I'll share my screen. I'll show everybody how to, maybe how to find it first.
Yeah. And while you're pulling it up, one of the great things you're going to notice is when I go to use ChatGPT, it's like I have to remember the site. I have to remember my user ID. I have to remember my password.
Right.
You can see Chuck is pulling up the dashboard, your Howard Hanna dashboard that you're going to every day anyway. Right.
On your dashboard, you'll when you get up that very first sign-in page on your dashboard, you've got your main, your main blocks, your agent promotion, your listing, your buying, your marketing. You've got Hanna University and, the different main blocks. So you're going to click on the marketing block and that'll take you to this page right here. Okay. And then you're just going to scroll down a little bit. Now this is a computer thing. It's digital. So it's in the digital section, and all these different tools that we get through our association, our business enhancement with Hanna, we get all this. And they're all organized in alphabetical order. And this one's called Microsoft Copilot. So guess what? LM, it's right after the L's, right? Logos is L, so it's M. Here it is, Microsoft Copilot.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is click on that. Let's see. Oh, it took me to a new thing. I'm going to share a different, I'm going to share that page. So let me kick this out of the thing. Stop screen. Let me go find my new thing. So you're going to share this here. Oh, here it is. And here's your landing page for Microsoft Copilot. And my assistant says, Chuck, just ask me anything. Anything.
So if I'm used to the Chat GPT, I'm not going to have any trouble learning this, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Ask me anything. So
my favorite thing to ask is make this real estate listing description better, because I like to think as the agent, I like to start off writing about the property. I've been there. Okay. I've been through the house. I'm going to start it off. And I like just saying, make this better, make it more casual, make it more emotional.
Okay.
And depending on where I'm going to be talking about the property, you can take an agent's MLS remarks, and now you want to tweak it because you're going to put it on social media. So you can say stuff a little bit more flowery, and you can say, call me for an appointment.
Right. You know what I actually, I was thinking about this earlier this morning, how when I'm doing my remarks, I generally keep them kind of short and sweet. I want them to fit on all the different websites. And if it's going to go into anything print, I don't want the typeface to be so small that nobody can read it, because, so I'll make it kind of small. But if you're going to do something on social media, maybe you do want a longer, instead of a 100-word description, maybe a 1,000-word description.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can give it that, and ask it to do that for you. So I was quick. Yes. I'm searching over here on, I had a listing. So I was just use myself as an example. I was going to pull my description and see if I could make it better. So let's see. Here's my public remarks. I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to leave out the very beginning and the very end. And I'm going to go put that in there. Make this real estate listing. You tell me. Real estate
listing description.
Property better. Description. Property.
No, it understands real estate.
Yeah. It'll know. You know what? Yeah. It knows. My assistant, she knows.
Yep.
And so I just make it better, and I hit colon, and then I paste it in there and hit enter. Okay. And look at her go. She says, hey, no problem. Like, all right, let me go back. I can't. I'm going to go back to my screen, and so I can read it. Welcome. So my description was, welcome to 217 Mallard Drive in East Irondequoit. Fantastic 3-bedroom, 2-bath, blah, blah, blah. This fantastic 3-bedroom, 2-bath home boasts numerous updates, both inside and out. Enjoy the modern convenience of updated mechanicals and open floor plan that creates blah, blah. The home offers ample storage solutions, this is better than what I wrote. Thank you so much. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to give my assistant a raise. She deserves more.
Double what you're paying.
I'm doubling her pay for sure. You know what? Triple the pay, because I'm just that generous.
Yeah. And I love that even if you say, I like it, but it's not great. Like, you can say things like, try again. You can say, add a bit more about whatever, make it, and you can keep going until you get it exactly the way you want. You could tell it if you're going to be doing it for social media. Now, I shouldn't say this. And in most AI platforms, you can ask it to add emojis, right? You can, because some people like that. Like our boost ads always have emojis in them, that little explosion thing, that like excitement power. Yes. So you can ask for things like that. You can say, make it more professional, more conversational.
Yes.
Maybe you're making maybe you're going to do, we talked about open houses and then doing a neighbor preview. Maybe you're going to have a separate flyer for the neighborhood preview, and you want that to feel more conversational. Yeah. It's up to you.
Lisa, no, I can't type on this one. So, I'm going to close this tab. There we go. I'm going to go back. It's the middle of September. So what's like the biggest business activity that's going on right now everybody should be doing?
Well, business planning. We
Business
should be thinking
planning.
about it's pretty much everything you've sold is gonna finish out this year. And now you need to start thinking about next year, what you're gonna be
Correct.
doing with your business.
Right. I always start my new real estate year on November 1st. So it's the middle of September, and shame on me, I haven't finished my business plan yet. So, but I've got about 6 weeks to dial this in. So, maybe I'm an experienced agent with 10 years experience like myself. Maybe I'm someone who's been in real estate a little bit longer like yourself, or maybe I'm a brand new agent and I'm, thinking, gosh, well, what should I really be doing? How should I structure my plan? How do I get started? Like, just what do I got to do to get started? Once I get started, then I feel like I can tweak, I can fine tune. I'll kind of know the next steps, or maybe I'll know there's three things I definitely want to do. Those are my my wheelhouse, like yay me. But those other two things I'm terrible at. So I'm either gonna say that's not me, I'm not gonna do that, or I'm gonna say, you know what? I need to talk to my manager about getting better at those two things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so let's just do a plan. Write a real estate, write a business plan, write a business plan for a new realtor for their first 180 days in real estate. Let's just leave it general, because you can start broad and then you can tweak your prompt and fine tune it and maybe get a better answer. So let me go back here. Oh, here you go. Should write my business plan. Thank you. So who you are, introduce yourself, do a little introductory video. In my case, I'm Chuck Flynn. I live in Leroy in Genesee County. That's really where I work real estate wise. Making a plan to do some networking, talking, getting referrals. When I was a brand new agent, one of the first things I did is I went over to the bank where I did my banking, and I met the loan officer who I really didn't know. And that loan officer introduced me to someone else. And over the next 3 years, I did about 15 deals through this organization. So that was a huge part of my networking plan. So,
and I love this, right? I mean, it's kind of gone down to the bottom here. So that's what I'm looking at with everyone else, training and development, right? Like you need to learn performance.
Right. Let's go back up to the top. Let's start at the top. So I'll zoom back up. Wow, this is quite a plan. Holy moly. Mission statement. Okay. You have a Howard Hanna mission statement, but yet you might tweak that a little bit for your own personal mission statement, or just go with the Hanna mission statement. Your core values. I love our core values. You might add something more for yourself or simplify it with less for yourself, whatever you want.
And these are reasonable. Generate, what does it say? 20 leads per month, close 5 transactions within the first 6 months. I mean,
that's reasonable.
Your assistant didn't say like, let's do 20 million your first year. No, the assistant, I love that. It's like, okay, we know this is a new agent. We're going to have to grow. Learning the market, watching trends, knowing what's going on, marketing strategy. This is great. And then, and this is where like your agent partnership with Howard Hanna, like now, okay, you come into your manager, here's my plan, right? Now, how do I do all of this? Where do I learn it? Networking. You're in a service organization. I'm in a service organization. We're networking in the arts, like I mean, it's networking is important. Client management. Just the way of follow up, what we're doing with our systems can help with that. Financial planning, super important.
Absolutely. This really is this is a robust plan. This is covering all the different like broad topics that you need to cover. And then you can bring this to your manager and say, hey, today for the next 30 minutes, let's talk about this section. I mean, you're not going to bang this all out in 30 minutes. Right.
No,
I mean, it's a serious
but, and again,
plan.
that's part of that performance review, your manager, kind of going over like, okay, what's working best for me? I think that's great. And I love that conclusion. Summarize your plan, reaffirm your commitment, right? Like, and you know what? You might, this was done, live. We could have gotten things where we said, that's not for me, or I don't like that. So you're going to tweak this, you're going to work on it. But if you get it to something you like, then definitely reaffirm your commitment, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is my plan. I'm gonna work with this.
Now, I mean, seriously, your mind, I know your mind is blown on it. Like
Yes,
we
I
we
love
literally
this.
did not prepare for this show at all.
No,
I just say, hey, Lisa, let's talk about Microsoft Copilot. She goes, Microsoft what?
yeah,
Which,
and
we
I'm
have this.
definitely gonna. All right, so I love, and to go back again, that lens. So the other tool you talked about was Lens.
Oh
I
yeah,
love the idea that you're sitting there with someone, you're getting them to sign things. You take your Lens app and you're scanning the documents, right? So
correct.
let's think about. I go on an appointment. It's 8 o'clock at night when we finish up the listing appointment. Everything's being done. Now tomorrow, I've got a lot of things going on. I've got different things happening. I can use that Lens app to download the documents. Like you said, I'm giving the homeowner, the client, the original copy. And now I have those documents in my drive. I can
Right.
send those to our office admin. I can scan them to, if I'm on, maybe I am on a legitimate team and I do have an assistant on my team. I'm scanning and sending them there. Like everything is in my tablet, everything is on my device, and I can keep going, right? Like I'm going to complete this work 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. We know realtors are always working. And the next morning, I've got another appointment, or maybe I'm hitting the gym in the morning and I can go and I can be stress free because I know I've turned in my paperwork already. It's
Right.
huge.
No, absolutely. It is. So I was just, yeah, I'm in my, so all you just want to go to office.com. Okay.
Yeah.
OFFICE, office.com. And it'll ask you to sign in, put in your Howard Hanna email, put in your single sign on password, and then, and you're in.
Yeah.
It's
It's
in
beautiful on all your devices, and they're
all
all
your
going to
devices,
talk to each other.
all your
You know,
devices. So you're
I
in your
think I'm going
office.
to cancel my Evernote.
You're right. Well, all
You
your,
know,
I think, does Microsoft own Evernote? I think they do. I feel like they might. But you're in your office, you're doing some work, you've got files you want to save and you want to work on them at home. You've got whatever it is, you just save them to your, save them onto your platform. It's like your Dropbox, right? I mean, it's
right?
so, and then you go home and you go to office.com and there's your file, you open it and you just keep working.
It's
And it
beautiful.
it's auto, yeah, it's beautiful. You auto save, and if you want to finish it the next day at the office, you just finish it there. You don't have to save it to your laptop, tote your laptop with you everywhere you're going. Oh my God,
Right.
I got the wrong computer with me today. I don't have the file. If we were taking advantage of these tools and these platforms, I think it would help everyone just work so much more efficiently. So,
I agree. I
and you don't,
agree.
yep. And you don't have to pay for the subscription. It comes with being a Hanna agent.
Yeah, it's huge, and
Way to
it's,
go.
you
Thanks.
know,
Thanks, Kobe.
yes. Yeah. I mean, it's been a game changer. I
Legit,
mean, I
like,
think
hey,
about,
Kobe, say thanks.
thank you. We many people, like, I have a Mac at home,
Yeah,
right? Like, and so the same thing, I have a PC in the office, a Mac at home, and like,
yeah,
Word versus Pages, but like, so I don't want to have to buy Microsoft tools for my Mac at home. I love that and then I just save to whatever format I need, or just the universal save as a
right,
PDF and send it to someone. It's
right,
great.
right. I print to PDF all day.
Yeah.
Everything comes in. I usually just go to print and I just adjust my printer to print to PDF and then I save it in whatever folder I want to save it in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Well, I don't want to show my age, but you get used to doing things a certain way and
yes,
you're resistant sometimes to a new way. But then
yeah,
once you try the new way and you're like, oh, like,
yeah.
I think about years ago when my one grandmother got a microwave. I don't think she ever used her oven again. Like,
Wow.
she's like, why would I spend 2 hours cooking something? This thing does it in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. I remember getting our first microwave. Wow. Yeah. When microwaves were a brand new thing.
Oh, and they were huge, and yeah,
Yes.
she loved that thing. She cooked everything in that microwave.
Yes, it was bigger than like it was big.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but the idea was partly was because back then I think you were cooking bigger, like it was a big casserole, right? Stuff was big, and
Yeah.
now we do stuff smaller.
But anyway, but again, we get used to that technology.
Yeah,
We get used to the way we did it. And if you just spend a few minutes, I'm so glad that you showed this today, Chuck, because I really had it on my calendar to teach an agent how to use Chat GPT, because I have been assisting them a little bit with what we did today, which was improving remarks.
Yes.
And they said, "Oh, I'm sorry to keep bothering you. I want to learn this." But frankly, I enjoy doing it, so I don't mind helping because it's fun.
Mhm.
But I'm so glad you showed me this, because I'm not going to teach them Chat GPT. I'm going to teach them Copilot.
You know what? I'm going to show one more thing. Okay. So let me share screen here. I've got a tab. I'm going to show one more thing. Share screen. Here we are. H Suite. Okay. And hit. Oh, you know what? I don't want to, let me go back to let's make sure it's following me yeah, I think it's working. So marketing and yeah, back to main screen. Perfect. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go over to Hanna University. Okay. If there's something you want to learn how to do, one of the first places you should check is you should go to Hanna University. Okay. So I just opened up Hanna University, and I'm going to click on Hanna University. Okay. Let's say it again. Hanna University.
And a you.
And then across the top, though, there's I think it's every other Tuesday, we have our education team does a Tech Tuesday, webinar. And so if I go to over here to pre-recorded webinars and I go down to Tech Tuesday, and let's have a look here. Oh, okay. Let me change my screen. It opened up a new tab. So let me remove this and put the new tab on. Oh, present. Where are we? Share screen.
I love watching the recorded webinars, because I can pause, I can rewind. Like if I get distracted and I'm like, oh wait, I need to remember what they just said, you just scooch it back.
Yeah.
I love the recorded. Yeah.
Yep. So here we are. So we're on Tech Tuesday. So these are all the different Tech Tuesdays they've recorded, and now you go back and rewatch them. And if I scroll down a little bit, and this is what got me to call you this morning, because I was going through, I go, there's got to be something on Tech Tuesday that I want to review, because today is like a how-to show. And here it is, H Suite Tools on August 13th, which is about a month ago, Microsoft Copilot, Artificial Intelligence Companion. And it's on there twice. I'm not quite sure why, but there it is. And if I click on that,
wow.
So here it is. And now here is a tutorial you can watch. It's 11 minutes introducing the tool and how to do it. Okay. So that is one way to get your feet wet and get started using your assistant, giving your assistant. Oh my God, you guys would be falling out of your chairs if you heard the conversation we had before the show about Lisa's like, don't say it.
Don't say it.
About directing my assistant on what to do and how to work. And listen, how you communicate with your assistant is your own deal. You're not getting any HR violations from how you talk to your virtual assistant. Okay.
But really and we talk about, when I do training, I talk about the dashboard as if that is your little egg crate box full of assistants, right? And each of those 12 assistants have different jobs. My Engage assistant only does my database. They're not doing anything else other than, in the old days, it would be that little Rolodex: name, address, phone number, email. That's my Engage assistant. My Email Marketing Plus Active Pipe assistant is my creative assistant. They're going to make the newsletter. They're going to write the little note cards and send it out. My print assistant, Quantum Digital, right? My Quantum Digital assistant mails out my just listed cards, my just sold postcards. I mean, there is an assistant for everybody in that box. And we just added a new assistant. Now we've got a baker's dozen in there. And that new assistant is that virtual assistant. That's the newest one, right? That's our latest and greatest assistant, which is going to do the artificial intelligence, again, assisting you.
Right. Let it help you. It's there to guide you, to give you a path. And then you can tweak that path. That's where the human comes in and tweaks that path. And brings the human side to it, right? And so
my Boost assistant is doing my social media marketing. My Agent Icon assistant, that's my camera ready artwork assistant.
Right. maybe as a teaser so another thing I did this week, an agent had my office had a listing, and my new admin's getting trained at a different office. So I was doing some of the marketing stuff for the past week, and asked about getting something on our Facebook page. And so, I normally, when I'm doing, when I'm doing a post about a new listing or whatever, I usually create something in Canva, and then I duplicate the page. I create everything the way I want it. Like as my template, and then I duplicate the page 5 or 6 times, and then I just insert a new picture into the picture slot, and then I'll upload 5 or 6 pictures of this listing, and it creates like a little carousel.
Yes.
And the metrics on it, like normally when we do something, we really don't get a whole lot because Facebook really doesn't want businesses to get good engagement on. They want you to pay for it, right?
Right.
But we had almost 1,000 impressions on this particular post, because it was done differently than the way the posts are normally done. It was multiple pictures with a carousel. It's engaging.
Right.
Facebook wants people to see it because there's a chance they'll click on it and then click to the next picture and the next picture and the next picture. So there's a better chance it's more clickable, and it's stickier. And that's what Facebook wants. They want the audience to be stuck on the page, right? So, and then when I did that, not only as I was creating it, it gave me a suggestion. It said, "Hey, Chuck, this would be a real, we could, if click here and we'll turn this into a reel." And I said, "Okay, click."
Yeah.
And it turned it into a reel. And then we got another 200 impressions on the reel. So in 5 minutes, taking something from Canva, broad strokes. I don't get not detailed. My description of it nice and small, so the letters are nice and big, right?
Yeah.
And we got over 1,000 impressions. So maybe next time for how to, we'll talk about how to do that.
Yeah. And you can go straight to making a reel in Canva. And there are great reel formats in there. We still have our ongoing debate, Chuck and I, whether someone is on or off TikTok and CapCut. So Canva does not as nice. I'll give it to them 100% better. But if you don't want to do that, Canva can help you make a reel and make it a little bit creative. And it was not that hard.
Yeah. Facebook let me let me put an audio track over it.
Yeah.
So it had music, and it just cycled through these 6 different pictures in 15 seconds with a little audio over it. And I go, post, done, move on with my life. So yeah, I'm excited. This was fun to talk about. Thanks for joining me again this morning. We've really got to spread the word. We've got to we've got to make sure everybody knows that they have this and to start using it.
We need to, and in our group, Chuck, I think we should post more and make sure people are aware of Copilot, and ask people how they're using it. How did you use Copilot? Like what did you do? Are you using Lens? Which ones are you using? Because you go again until for me, right? It's like, you can tell me about a great thing, but until I see something that says, okay, now I know how that will work for me, I'm going to be more interested in trying it. So like what you said about using Lens to be able to leave the house, the clients have the paperwork that they need physically in their hands. I have the paperwork that I need safe and secure in my storage solution. And you know what? I can tell you honestly, the first few times I do it, I'm going to be emailing it to myself immediately. I'm going to make sure the email's received before I walk out of the house. Cause right. Measure twice, cut once. Like, I'm not going to leave the house until I know I have it. But then eventually I will trust.
Yeah. But what you're really going to have is the OneDrive app as part of your Microsoft suite on your phone. And when you just save it to your OneDrive, you don't have to email it to yourself until the moment. Like, we shouldn't be using our emails.
I know, but I'm just telling you, Chuck, you know me. I'm
working on a better way. So,
remember, I'm older than you.
I unsubscribed from an email this morning. Did I tell you? We've talked. I go, I love the unsubscribe. I had a sale, so I got that email from someone offering me an advance on my commission. Unsubscribe. So don't have to get that anymore. It was a great day. A day when I unsubscribe. I love it.
All right. Well, this was exciting, and I'm excited to log off and get on and go take a look at my dashboard and start flying my plane with my Copilot.
With your Copilot. Perfect. All right. Cheers, everybody.